Hey everyone, today I'm doing something a little different. Instead of taking a look at a novel, instead I really wanted to talk about some manga. Now for context, I don't usually collect physical manga. If I can buy and read it digitally, I will. However, this one's a special case. My Dress Up Darling is a sort of rom-com manga centering around two high school students with slightly different hobbies and interests from the norm. Wakana Gojo is a 15-year-old first year at high school. He's rather tall for his age and keeps to himself. He's not exactly ostracized from his classmates, but he doesn't make any particular effort to connect with anyone due to his fear that he'll be rejected as he once was in the past. See, Gojo is in love with Hina dolls, traditional Japanese ornamental dolls typically gifted to family members on very specific occasions, such as the birth of a daughter. Gojo's grandfather runs a Hina doll shop, and he has been in love with the dolls since young. Gojo lost his parents when he was quite young, and his grandfather has been his guardian for some time. He isn't quite up to the same skill level as his grandfather, but he is handy with a sewing machine. During his lonesome days at school, he can't help but notice everyone else's lives and friendships happening all around him, but being the loner that he is, he never dares step into their world. He even goes out of his way not to interact with people by taking on certain duties by himself, like after-school cleaning. It's here that he starts interacting more and more with the stylish Marin Kitagawa, a girl in his class. She's a loud, boisterous, fashionable girl who's pretty much the opposite of Gojo. Gojo admires her because she stands by what she likes and isn't afraid to speak her mind to people that tease others for their hobbies or interests. One day, while Gojo is borrowing a sewing machine for his Hina dolls, Marin stumbles onto him and Gojo's secret hobby is discovered. Fearing resentment, Gojo panics, but Kitagawa is excited and genuinely interested in Gojo's Hina doll and his skills as a clothing maker. Kitagawa wastes no time asking for Gojo's help, as she wants to cosplay her favourite character from an erotic game she's obsessed with. In a state of confusion and determination, Gojo agrees to help the sewing-challenged Kitagawa. The theme of this manga is acceptance, and it's a truly fantastic story and message. Things balloon from here as the manga explores friendships, meaningful connections with people, and not to judge people by their looks or interests. Even though buying an adult erotic game as a minor is probably a bad example, but a great plotline in this fictional world. There are some interesting tidbits about cosplaying itself and tips on starting out, or little things you might not think about, like gaining suspended volume for a dress or customizing shoes. At the core of it all is Kitagawa and Gojo's relationship, and it's so sweet seeing Gojo slowly come out of his shell and unsure of how to act with Kitagawa at school, as he feels he might be a bother or she might have reservations about her hobby becoming public like he does. It's also fun seeing Gojo try new things for the sake of others, like playing the eroge for context of who the cosplay is supposed to be, but having little shame or experience in this field, Gojo plays it without headphones and his grandfather spots him. It's all good fun and a generally pretty wholesome series, although there is a parental advisory warning and a mature rating due to the images shown in the manga. Speaking of images, this manga has such an incredible visual identity. I don't talk very much about illustrations in my light novel reviews, and I feel that's because they are supplementary to the novel. They enhance the experience but aren't necessary to the enjoyment. It's a different story in manga where the images are just as important as the plot and dialogue. And here Shinichi Fukada, the author and illustrator of Dress Up Darling, has such a unique art style. Everything is elegant and carefully detailed, from Gojo's lanky frame and loose-fitting clothes to Kitagawa's sparkling eyes and painted nails. The manga drips character, and the super detailed illustrations for cosplays or the in-game characters are so well realised you'd think they were real characters from other series. The attention to detail is also fantastic, such as Kitagawa's poor attempt at a cosplay, and focusing in on its mistakes or omissions. The cosplay sketches are so good they may as well be sketches for real cosplay once this actually becomes an anime. Just the whole thing is gorgeous from start to finish, which I find especially interesting as I originally didn't care for the art style, as it was a bit too odd when I first picked this up. The doll-like style seemed strange and the overemphasis on certain aspects didn't really click with me. But as I kept reading and got more and more invested, I started loving it, so much so that I've read the first 4 volumes at least 4 times over. There's something special here and I can't quite describe it. It's just something you have to experience for yourself and make an opinion from. It's definitely not for everyone, but as someone who loves anime rom-coms, wholesome slice of life series, and the occasional ecchi series, I just ate it up. It has a very real message at its core, and even just from the first volume, it tries its best to give the reader something unique that will stick with them for a long time. And that's what Dress Up Darling is to me, an incredibly special series that isn't afraid to try something a little different and teach people a little something about acceptance along the way. It's highly recommended, and I hope anyone who checks it out loves it as much as I do. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll see you all next time.